What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild challenge here on NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Today's video, we are going to be doing the small ball rebuild. Now, I have just done this one in the past, but before doing this one, I want to give a huge shout out to 8 Mamba. What is it? I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. It's 8 Mamba Forever 24. On my last rebuild challenge, he left me 13 video ideas down below, and if not, the majority of them, if not all of them, were actually such good ideas. Some I've done in the past, some I have never even heard of before. So I just want to give a huge shout out to you, man. You left me some great ideas. I wrote them all down, and I really do appreciate it. So we're going to be doing this one in a fantasy draft style today, man. The way this one's probably going to work is everybody has to be 6'8" or below. That is at every single position in the rotation. Now, that being said, I'm not going to go ahead and sign, my 13th, 14th man. Just to make him 6'8" or below, he's not even going to play. So, my 9-10 man rotation, whatever it may be, all those guys will be 6'8" and below, including those centers and power forwards. So, might get a little bit tricky at times, but as always, if you guys are new to this channel, you guys have any other video ideas, feel free to comment them down below. And if you guys are not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate you having you here. So, I'm just going to randomly select a team. Team does not matter to me too much. We'll stop in 3, 2, and 1. We get the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to go ahead and sim this entire fantasy draft, and I'll see you guys with some trades. All right, so taking a look at this team, we do have Jimmy Butler as our best player on this team. I'm excited to use him. Jimmy Butler didn't have the greatest playoff run in the real life this year, but we're doing this in 2K. Hopefully he doesn't regress. In older 2Ks, Jimmy Butler tend to regress by the end of the first season, which is something I thought was really weird. But hopefully they've patched that. Hopefully, he sticks to his normal self. Still putting up those great numbers that he's been known to do for many years. Alongside him, Jamal Murray. So we have our point guard or shooting guard. Definitely could move into one of those spots. We have Brandon Clark, who was drafted for us at the power forward spot, which is really lucky because he is 6'8", so we can keep him on this team as a starting power forward. Unfortunately, the tough thing is going to be finding a starting center that is officially under 6'8". So, nobody on this team right now. I don't even know how many of these guys in the NBA there really even are. But that being said, without a doubt, even if this wasn't, a 6'8" or under rebuild challenge, I would definitely go ahead and make some trades. So I'll see you guys at the first move. Okay, so we have a couple options at the center spot. I think Precious Achiuwa does kind of make the most sense because I think he can be here, the longest term. And he actually puts up really solid numbers, progresses like an unbelievable player in this game. So we're going to try to go ahead and get him. Another option I had was Montrezl Harrell. I think he could be an option for maybe a year or two, but I honestly think Achiuwa is going to progress better and put up better numbers than Harrell would. When we come time for this team to actually compete and win a championship. So Precious Achiuwa, what's it going to take here? I'd be willing to give you, Enes Kanter. I don't think they're going to take that straight up. I'd be willing to give you just a couple second-round picks, perhaps. Any chance you can get this done? Anybody else I can give you? I mean, I can just toss in, pretty much anybody here. What do I have at the backup spots? Pretty much every position. You want Michael Carter-Williams? And how about another second? They don't want to do that. I don't have a ton of firsts because I'm dumb and forgot to turn on, everybody gets their own first-round picks back. And obviously I'm the Brooklyn Nets, so we traded quite a bit of our picks for James Harden. I don't think there's anybody else that on this team that I'm really going to be able to give you. Jamal Crawford's just, we can't really do that. So I have to give up a 1 first-round pick probably. I'd actually rather give up... No, I'll give up a future pick. They agree to that. So that was a lot for Precious Achiuwa, but I honestly think he probably is the best long-term answer at this center spot. That being said, I do have to go ahead and find another guy who's, under 6'8" or 6'8" or under, back him up. So that's also going to be a tough issue, but I'm not as worried about that. If I can get somebody lower overall, it's pretty much a little bit easier to get. I think it should be fine. Damn, we got Cam Johnson as well, which is going to be huge. He's also 6'8". 2K low-key kind of really blessed me today, man, with these rebuilds. It's actually been happening a lot recently where 2K is kind of, when I do these fantasy draft, challenges per se, they've been actually getting me some really good drafts, which is nice because, it's not every day that 2K is nice to me. So, DeAndre Jordan, Marc Gasol, obviously are probably going to both be traded. Hopefully include them both in for a guy that's, 6'8" or under. So, see you guys at that next move. So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know that I'm not a big fan of Daniel Tice, but unfortunately he's one of the very limited options that's actually pretty easy to get. For a backup center who's going to be who's going to be 6'8" or under. I thought he was a little bit taller, for me honest. I thought he was around 6'10", but I was wrong on that front. So he's listed as a power forward right now. He played center for the Celtics in real life. He very well can be my backup center. So he's actually going to go down to a 74 overall. It's seriously fine by me. So I will go ahead and probably try to trade a couple of these guys. Maybe kind of reload in the first round pick department. I think Ersan Ilyasova definitely could be a guy that maybe sneaks into the rotation with 2Ks. Automatic, whatever the situation may be if somebody fouls out. So I would not mind maybe going ahead and trading him. Just for a first-round pick, Mason Jones as well. That's actually perfectly fine by me. So we go ahead and get that done. I believe we should be kind of all set in this rotation. I'm definitely going to give Fournier a year. He definitely could be a good sign-and-trade candidate once we do get past this first season here, but I don't really think I'm going to be able to get such an upgrade that's really going to be worth it here for this first season. So I'm going to go ahead and set this rotation, and I'll see you guys with that. So here's the rotation at the start of year number 1 right now. Again, I'm really excited about this team. I think we already have a really solid core, really solid foundation. for us to build off of, once we do hopefully get into those times where we can definitely compete for a championship. That being said, I don't expect this team to really be competing this year that strongly, but every time I say that, I feel like we always end up as a 1 seed, make the finals, and then lose. Typically how it works for me. Most of these rebuilds lately. But year number 1, here's how it's going to look. Jamal Murray, Evan Fournier are backcourt. It's not a bad backcourt to start out with. Obviously Jamal Murray is going to be tremendous for us. I see him here probably the entire video. I'm not 100% set on Fournier. Would like to maybe get him as, a bench piece at some point, but unfortunately he's probably going to have to be in any sort of sign-in trade unless I can maybe go ahead and get a superstar this offseason and then go over the bird rights for him. So we will see. Really nice young dynamic front court in Brandon Clark and Precious Achiuwa. I want to check both their contracts and just make sure. Okay, so they're both locked up for the entire video, which is absolutely huge because they both very well could be starting here for me for legitimately the entire video. So I'm excited about that. Our bench is probably going to be the one thing we do need to work on a little bit this offseason. Cameron Johnson going to be in here as our 6th man, also locked up the entire video if we do want him. This is what I'm saying, man. 2K, low-key just kind of really blessed me here, man. Like, they honestly really, really did, but I'm never going to complain when that happens. I'm really, really not. But so we're definitely not going to leave the team exactly the same way it is. The core guys will probably stay. If I had to guess, it'd be dumb for me to trade Jimmy Butler just because 2K drafted me, So that's just my thoughts on that for now. But again, we're in a really good spot right now with this team. I think we can actually be pretty good this year, maybe. I don't see a championship in our future, but I still think we can be competitive. So with that being said, this team's all set for now. See you guys in the end of year number 1. So we wrap up year number 1 here in the Eastern Conference. We end up here as a 2 seed, number 4 in the power rankings. Nikola Jokic continues to be an NBA unicorn. 28.5 points, 15 boards, 8 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 53% from the field, almost 89% from the free throw line, and 41.5% from the three-pointer. 7 feet tall, basically, and this dude is just absolutely insane. Precious Achiuwa does win Rookie of the Year. I will take that. I don't think I've really seen anybody win it but LaMelo Ball in quite a bit of time. I will take that. Almost 20 points, 10.5 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, almost 2 blocks, 57% from the field, 54% from the free throw line. We can work on that a little bit, but man, I will take that any day of the week. I am excited to build around him. Brogdon going to be 6th man of the year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Giannis looks pretty good in the Thunder jersey. Not going to lie, does take home Defensive Player of the Year. Christian Wood, most improved. Him and Giannis in the front court are pretty scary together. Rick Carlisle, 54 and 18 for the Dallas Mavericks. They are the 1 seed there in the West. So we do have a first-round matchup with the Chicago Bulls. I'll take a look at their roster in just a second after we go over some numbers right here. Jimmy's around 19 points again. I'm not expecting 28 points a game. Jimmy Butler, he's not Bradley Beal. He's not James Harden. I'm not expecting him to do that. I definitely, when I said earlier that I see him regress, I wasn't talking about specifically, his points per game. I know there's a lot more than that. I'm more talking about his overall. So that being said, I don't need Jimmy Butler to be my number 1 scoring option. If Jamal Murray wants to take that role, Precious Achiuwa even wants to go ahead of him, I'm fine by that as long as it turns into wins. So I really do like this team right now. I think we're in a really good spot right now. Rebounds went to Precious Achiuwa at 10.5. And assist was actually Jimmy Butler with more than Jamal Murray. I'm actually a little surprised by that. But again, Jimmy Butler, good ball facilitator. So if we got a dance in the first round here with the Chicago Bulls, take a look at their roster. Trae Young, Aaron Holiday, Joe Ingles, Tobias Harris, and Serge Ibaka. Definitely a decent bench as well. Wow, Plumlee, Lamb, Schroeder, and Larry Nance Jr. off the bench. Good bench right there for the Chicago Bulls. So we do go on to win in 5. I will take that. Moving on to Charlotte here. Luka Doncic, Luke Kennard, Gordon Hayward, Chris Boucher, and Andre Drummond, who puts up quite legitimately. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody else in the NBA, even in real life, put up more empty stats. Like, it's actually insane. I saw tonight in real life, the Lakers finally went ahead and gave Gasol the start. We do lose in 7 of them. Again, not really that surprised by it. The Wizards going to win the finals with Ben Simmons finals MVP. But yeah, I also can we talk about that for a second? Why didn't the Lakers start Marc Gasol sooner? They're in the middle of the game right now. I'm not even going to lie. I have it on. It's 48-24 right now. So, I'm assuming the Suns probably wrapped it up by the time you've seen this one. But I don't know. I've seen LeBron do some pretty crazy things. But I don't know why it took them so long to start Marc Gasol. I felt like that was a pretty obvious consensus move. Probably as soon as you saw Andre Drummond play any sort of minutes. Just my opinion, though. We will head up to league meetings right now. Let's go ahead and just decline all of these. We're going to go ahead and reject this. I'll take a look at the draft lottery. Doubt we're going to see any Nets in here. We do not. And the Philadelphia 76ers end up with the number 1 overall pick. So, Steve Nash doesn't have the best ratings. I would definitely be more inclined to keep him. If this was a normal Nets rebuild, we have a big 3 of KD, Harden, and Kyrie. I think that'd probably, entice me a little bit more. But I'd almost be more enticed maybe to just sign D'Antoni as my head coach. But Louis Carter, you're fired. You suck. And you suck as well. So Randy Martin going to come in here. Head scout, I'll go Cuba Gooding. I'll give Steve Nash one more year, but I think, definitely getting 2 decent assistant coaches next to him, something we definitely need to focus on for now. We do have a lot of money here, being the Brooklyn Nets. If Nicholson doesn't want to come here, I don't really care about my CFO. Again, it doesn't matter. I feel like that's a weird thing to have, in like my NBA now. Like, I get it in my GM because you're kind of controlling all aspects with like the pricing and stuff. But why do you have it in my, like, if anybody knows, is there anything you can do? If I have an F-rated CFO, what is the difference between me having that and an A-rated CFO here in my NBA? I hate calling it my NBA. It just sounds so weird. But like, what's the difference? In this mode, anyways, I get it in my GM, but I just feel like there's no difference. I don't think anything really changes. Like, maybe I legitimately can't think of anything. Who knows? All right, we got pick 20 from the Houston Rockets. We have pick 27 of our own. I wouldn't maybe mind combining them to maybe move up, maybe get somebody decent in this draft. Hopefully, again, it's probably going to be somebody pretty small. I want to see, are there any big men in this draft? I'm doubting it at the center spot that are maybe under. Okay, this dude is 6'9". That sucks. We're close there. No, we're not really seeing anybody. Yeah, I didn't really think we were going to see any 6'8" centers. We'll check the power forward spot. Scotty Barnes is 6'9". That would have been close. Usman Garuba is only 6'8". Okay, I wouldn't mind him. I know we do have Cameron Johnson here, so it's not a huge need, but he would low-key be a pretty good pickup. I definitely wouldn't mind Usman Garuba. If he's not on the board, I wouldn't mind maybe trying to move up to that 12-13 area, maybe try to get him. So let's just go ahead and see who does have like the 12th or 13th overall pick. 11s with Detroit. You're not getting Brandon Clark. You're fucking high. How about if I go ahead and give you both my picks in this year's draft? You don't want to take that? Nope. I'll give you a couple more seconds for 11. I would like to. Okay, perfect. So we do get 11. I wouldn't mind bringing in Garuba here. I think he'd be a pretty good fit on this team, if I'm being honest. Let's go ahead and see. Hopefully he hasn't gone so far. Take a look at the summary. And he has not. So Usman Garuba is officially going to be the newest member here. Where is he? He's right here, number 12 overall. I could also go Davion Mitchell. I think ultimately my point guard spot's definitely set. Small forward's definitely set. I don't love Cameron Johnson. If I'm being honest, I know his overall here is in 2K is pretty good, and he's been actually playing pretty decent for the Suns in real life. But I wouldn't mind developing Garuba, and again, I can probably get some pretty good value for Cameron Johnson. He's up to a 79 overall, so definitely would not mind looking to trade him for another guy that can be a good backup for us. So we head into free agency right now. We do not have max money or maximum contract money, but we do have a decent amount, almost just under a shade under $25 million. So Andre Drummond, like, what were his numbers last year? It's empty, dude. It's seriously, it's empty. I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right. So we do need to re-sign Evan Fournier. He's definitely a sign and trade candidate for me. I think Cameron Johnson definitely could be on his way out as well. But, the starting 5 for now is almost figured out once we figure out what we are doing with Fournier. So I'm going to go ahead and actually give him a decent amount of money. Like, I'll probably give him around, $24 million just so I can match him up with some of the bigger contracts in this league. I think that's important. I also really would like to get Daniel Tice back. It's not every day of the week I do say that, but I'm pretty limited on my options for backup centers that are 6'8" or under. So Tice and Fournier are now back. I'm going to probably work on a trade, maybe getting somebody a little bit better than Fournier at that starting shooting guard spot. So we're going to go ahead and try to get CJ McCollum from the LA Clippers. Evan Fournier and Cameron Johnson are what I'm proposing right now. I highly doubt it's going to get it to go through. But, CJ's not a guy I get a lot. He's not even close to 6'8". He's only 6'3". I know he wasn't even close. I definitely wasn't worrying about that for my shooting guard. So they do not want to go ahead and take that. Again, we don't have a ton to play with here. Like, I'd give you Dorian Finney-Smith as well. I just don't have a lot of first-round picks, which is really unfortunate right now. Okay, and they agree to that. So we do pick up CJ McCollum. He's going to be our new starting shooting guard for us. I think at this point in time, like, the Jordan McRae is probably going to have to go ahead and get me a first-round pick. Like, he's not a bad guy to have off the bench for me, but again, I just really need to reload in the first-round pick department. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. We'll do this with Miami just because we don't have to give up a second as well. Seconds are important, and I've made a couple trades now, especially just moving up for Garuba with second-round picks. They definitely do help. So I need a backup point guard and backup shooting guard, so we set ourselves up nicely here where we don't have to really stress about getting guys 6'8" or under because, the majority of them are obviously that. So let's see my options right now. Bryn Forbes he's actually playing really well right now in real life for the Milwaukee Bucks. Reggie Bullock, Damian Lee, Jamal Crawford, each one more. Let me go ahead and try to get Forbes here. Use that mid-level exception on him. I don't mind that at all. And then Patty Mills, Ish Smith, Jeff Teague sucks balls. Everybody's just so old. That's the thing that does suck. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be the highest overall here. Everybody's just... I doubt it. All right, I'm going to sign Patty Mills. I think he's probably ultimately going to end up, regressing quite a bit, which is unfortunate, but I'll deal with it. I can live with it for a season, having a 73, 74 overall backup point guard, whatever it may be. So this team's all set for now. I'll see you guys in the rotation at the start of year number 2. So year number 2 here, we're at the start of the season right now. The rotation is all set. CJ McCollum's one of those guys. He's like a DeMar DeRozan, occasionally even Jimmy Butler, that just kind of regress a little bit unfairly, if we're being honest. He put up 20 points, 3 boards, 5 assists. He shot 44.5% from 3. 51% from the field. I just feel like it's unfair for him to regress, and he's only 30 years old. That's where 2K's set progression system is a little broken. He went from an 87 to an 85. That just doesn't quite make sense to me. How that system works. He's not 35 years old. It's one of those weird things with me. Also, while we're talking about it, real life tonight, I just watched finishing the Denver Nuggets end up beating the Portland Trailblazers in 6 games. So I'm actually really excited to see what the Trailblazers do this offseason. I think they could take a multitude of approaches. I would be surprised if I saw Dame request the trade. I think he's one of the more loyal, if not one of the most loyal players in the entire NBA. But everybody kind of reaches the point in time where they know they're probably not winning a championship somewhere, and it sucks. And I hate to say it for you Portland fans, but that time might be coming for Dame, man. I do feel bad for him. So if you guys want to see me do a trading Damian Lillard and rebuild, let me do some realistic places for him down below in the comment section. Obviously, I'll do my own research as well. But getting off topic right now, here's how it's going to look here for year number 2. Jamal Murray, CJ McCollum, Jimmy Butler, Brandon Clark, Precious Achiuwa. I'm really excited to see what he can do for us. Just one rookie of the year for us. I'm definitely, excited to see how he does progress up to an 81 overall. The bench is definitely something we're going to be needing to focus on this offseason. Brendan Forbes is going to be our 6th man here. Daniel Tice, Usman Garuba, our 11th overall pick. Then Patty Mills down to his 73 overall. But again, I fully anticipated him being that around that overall. So we can deal with it for a year. That's it for now. Let's hopefully, go try to compete for a championship. See you guys at the end of year number 2. So year number 2 comes to a close here. Nikola Jokic wins another MVP award. Again, just an absolute unicorn. 31.5 points, 16.5 boards, 8 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block a game, 44% from 3 for a 7-footer. Jesus. He's shooting unbelievably. God damn. Cade Cunningham, Rookie of the Year for the Philadelphia 76ers. Kelly Olynyk, 6th Man of the Year. Don't see that one a lot over there in Toronto. Jonathan Isaac, Defensive Player of the Year in LA. Ayton, Most Improved in Orlando. And Taylor Jenkins, 58 and 24. Is he the Grizzlies head coach? No, he's not the Grizzlies head coach. Whose head coach is Taylor Jenkins? Maybe I don't know whose head coach he is. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. We went 55 and 27. Ended up as a 1 seed here in the East. I will absolutely take that. Murray, Butler, and Achiuwa, kind of looking like our big 3 right now. CJ McCollum kind of took a little bit of a backseat, but I'm perfectly fine by that. 18, almost, not 18, but 17.5 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, shot 45% from the field. What did he shoot from 3? 41% from 3. That's absolutely fine by me. Bryn Forbes shot well from 3, too, if you just saw that real quick. Rebounds went to Achiuwa at 11.5, assists Jimmy Butler at 7.5. So we do have a matchup here in the first round with the Washington Wizards. Simmons, these team actually won the finals last year, I forgot. Was this their core? That's good, but finals? Really? The NBA does even out quite a bit, though, when you do go ahead and do these fantasy drafts. So, Drew Holiday, Shake Milton, Chuma Okeke, Zion Williamson, and Yusuf Nurkic. You guys know me. If you've been watching me for a while, me and Zion, I tend to lose to Zion. I wouldn't say it's a competitive rivalry at all, actually, because, he tends to beat me pretty much every single time. Some things never change, man. Some things really never change. The Houston Rockets in Nikola Vucevic. What's your lineup here? Okay. Is that Lonzo? Wow. Okay, they actually have a really good team. Really, really deep team. How did they get all these guys? Wow. Good for them. Well-earned finals for the Houston Rockets right there. I'm sure Rockets fans wish their team looks like something like that in real life. So league meetings right now. Increase the salary cap. No, thank you. If you guys wanted me to do an all, or, accepting all rules rebuild, I'd be happy to do one soon. I think I did one maybe a couple months ago. I think so. I feel like I did one recently. I don't really remember, though. So we'll take a look at the lottery real quick. I'm not seeing us anywhere. So the Phoenix Suns end up with the number 1 overall pick. Hawks have 2 picks in the top 5. I believe they're projected the top 2, if I saw that correctly. And unfortunately, just didn't work out. So I'll re-sign D'Antoni as my assistant coach. I'm probably looking for a new head coach, though. I think Jacob Underwood's a really solid option for me here. Billy Donovan's here as well. Frank Vogel's here. You see, I don't think, this is what I was saying last rebuild, I don't think Frank Vogel deserves the 2 A- ratings. He actually had an A, I think his offense was an A and his defense was an A- last rebuild. Look, don't get me wrong. It takes a certain type of person to coach LeBron James. I will say that without a doubt, but at the end of the day, it's definitely not the hardest head coaching position in the world, if you kind of catch what I'm saying. So we're going to go Jacob Underwood. I think I like him here a little bit more. I think he's definitely going to be a good candidate to be our new head coach. So he's officially hired here. I'm actually really excited to see who the Celtics hire as the next head coach. In real life, I tweeted out my picks on Twitter if you guys want to, or who I would like to see as their head coach. If you guys want to go follow me on Twitter, a little bit of a shameless plug. I downloaded a new 2022 draft class. Unfortunately, we're not really going to get a chance to see it in action here. I found yet another one. Hopefully this one's a little bit more realistic. I actually want to take a look and see some of these overalls. A lot of you are commenting, just go ahead and, hop into the draft. Like, I'll just go, like, draft summary so far. Okay. I'll just have to see how high the... Okay, so Victor was the first overall pick, and he's a 70. Oh, my God. Did I find the perfect draft class? Holy shit. Okay, I just want to sit here for a couple picks and see if I found, like, good overalls. Obviously, their statistics need to look good as well. Also, for some of you saying that rookies average 27 points a game, what rookies are you watching? Somebody legitimately commented, because I think Victor or Amoni Bates put up, like, 27 points. He's an 81. Amoni Bates being an 81 is fair. I'm not saying that an 81, 82 overall is the craziest thing in the world. I'm saying statistically, 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists for a rookie is legitimately the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard, ever. Like, there's nobody that can, like, reason about that. Like, if you think that's realistic, I seriously don't know what to say to you. So, that's looking fine. I mean, the overalls are fine. I don't mind that at all. 74 overall. Okay, this looks like a good draft class. Again, I'll check out the stats after this. I'll kind of try to remember to do a breakdown to all the rookie stats once we do get into next year's playoffs. But looks like I might have found a good 2022 draft class. So Jimmy declines. He was obviously going to be our one big free agent this offseason. Denzel Valentine, who might not be in the NBA much longer. So yeah, Jimmy's pretty much our only big free agent. I'm hoping he comes back here, man. I'm also really excited to see what the Miami Heat end up doing with his contract extension in real life. Because if they're paying him $40+ million by the time he's 35, 36 years old, I don't know if you're going to really like that one too much. If I'm being honest, if I'm the Miami Heat, then again, you might have to eat it for a year if you think he can lead your team to potentially be in a championship again. So that being said, we definitely do need to work on the bench a little bit. Hopefully Garuba can progress pretty well. I need a new backup point guard as well. I think DeLon Wright would be a pretty solid option. Patrick Beverly here as well. Ricky Rubio would be a pretty good ball facilitator. Chris Dunn would bring in some good defense, but I think maybe like a Duncan Robinson. I do sign Duncan Robinson a lot. I'll probably chill on that one a little bit. Could sign Melo as a backup power forward. He's just 38 years old. All right, I'm going to bring in DeLon Wright. I don't sign him a ton. I'm also going to probably have to make a decision on if I need to make any more moves to go ahead and maybe try to compete and win a championship. I mean, I don't love the idea of having Brandon Clark here for another season, but again, there's only so many power forwards. They're like a legitimate power forwards that are 6'8". If we go to Player Finder right now, if I go to like power forward / center, 6'8" or under. I mean, Zion's not happening. If we're being honest, Tatum's not happening. Julius Randle's probably like there's no way to make that money work like whatsoever. I highly doubt I can get him for CJ McCollum. Actually, hang on a second. Like, just hang with me. I'd actually give you Garuba as well. I'm out of first round picks. This is never going to happen, is it? Yeah. Okay. Again, it's a fine line. Like Tobias Harris, maybe even a little bit. 21 points. Then again, I have to find a trade, for a new starting shooting guard because obviously McCollum has to be in any deal just to make the money work here. Who would I prefer? I mean, obviously McCollum was probably on a better team than like what's the rest of this route? Yeah. Oh my God, this team is fucking horrible. Like, what's the trade finder here? You're not getting... What the fuck are you smoking? Like, serious. For the fact that you actually think that could be a legitimate trade kind of scares me. I don't think I'd give up Garuba in a deal here for Tobias Harris. I don't even want to do it. I'm probably just going to chill with the team we have. Again, I don't really think I'm going to get any crazy offers. I mean, unless if I go ahead and put up CJ McCollum, our first and a second round pick. I mean, just like, do I have any crazy offers for Bagley's 6'11"? Yeah. Oh, actually, looks like Bagley's actually progressing pretty well. 18.5 points, 9.5 boards. Looking like the kind of guy they thought he was going to be when they took him ahead of Luka Doncic. I'm sure you regret that every single day of the week, Sacramento. Against Pascal Siakam's 6'9", so we're an inch off in that department. It's the story of my life, being an inch off. I think we're probably fine. So I do think this team's probably going to chill the way it is. I think I'm fine. I'm comfortable with Bryn Forbes, and again, I don't think we're getting an upgrade. 6'8" or under at the backup center spot. So let me just do a quick double check that everybody on this team is 6'8" or under. We are good. We're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the third and final year. So CJ's down to an 83. Again, I think it's kind of unfair, but we are going to go ahead and do this trade, picking up Malcolm Brogdon. Numbers-wise, I mean, we take a look at the difference: 17.5 points, 3.5 boards, 5.5 assists versus 15.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. I mean, again, it's not that crazy, but I think we're getting a little bit of an upgrade at this point in time. I do like Malcolm Brogdon a lot. I wish my Celtics took him over Kemba Walker. They actually did have a chance of getting him, but unfortunately they passed on it. So Brogdon's on this team now. I actually kind of prefer Murray maybe a little bit more at the shooting guard spot than I do Brogdon. You know, I think Brogdon's probably a little bit better at, you know, at ball facilitating at the point guard spot than he would be at the shooting guard spot. So I'm going to go with Murray, you know, to the shooting guard position. So we are going to move him there. And I'm going to go ahead and set this rotation, and then we'll be all set. I also think we went ahead and picked, yeah, we did pick up Alec Burks here, who unfortunately really isn't going to play. Maybe I could look for an upgrade at some position, like maybe if I package him and Bryn Forbes. I mean, just real quick, just, I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, if I do Burks, Bryn Forbes, and I don't have first-round picks left. In a second, I mean, do I get any really crazy shooting guards off the bench for me? I can see Otto, actually, he's 6. Oh, he is 6'8". He low-key could be an upgrade over Usman Garuba. Actually, that's not a bad trade at all. Lou Dortz. Okay, never mind. Lou Dortz is coming here. I like Lou Dortz a lot. All right, welcome to the team. I'll see you guys at the rotation. So, year number 3 here, we obviously have a new head coach here in Jacob Underwood. Very excited to see what he can do for us here. You know, and a new member of our starting 5 here in Malcolm Brogdon. So, I'm excited about this team. You know, I think we definitely have a nice couple veteran pieces. You know, Malcolm Brogdon, Jamal Murray's honestly probably can be considered a veteran at this point. And Jimmy Butler, and then a nice young front court in Clark and Achua. But they've definitely both been, you know, they've been to the playoffs with us now a few times. So, I'm excited to see what they can do. This is the starting 5. That's how it's going to look. The bench definitely got a huge upgrade. Lou Dort sliding right into that 6-man spot nicely. I'm actually really surprised that he's not harder to trade for in this game. That's crazy, the fact that I got him for that cheap. But this is how it's going to look. We've definitely made some upgrades to the bench since, you know, starting this video. I definitely wanted to focus on that, and I think we've definitely accomplished that. So let's hopefully go win a championship. So for the second year in a row, we do end up here as a 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. First year number 1 in the power rankings. I do believe Trae Young in Dallas. It's so weird to see him in Dallas. I mean, if they never trade or made that, you know, draft swap of him and Doncic, you know, you never know what Trae Young would be doing in Dallas right now. Luka Doncic would be doing in Atlanta. It's interesting to think about, honestly. It'd be a fun what if. I think I've actually done that what if before. Maybe I'll do it again. He does win MVP for the Dallas Mavericks. Adrian Griffin Jr., Rookie of the Year. Okay. I do want to look at the rest of rookie stats, so I'm going to kind of skip through this quickly. We go 16-22. Where are stats? Rookie stat. Okay, rookie report. Okay. Okay. I think it's official that I finally maybe found a good 2022 draft class. I think it's official. I really think it is. Speaking of that, where is Amoni Bates? Because look, don't get me wrong, I don't like him averaging, you know, 30 points a game, but I have no idea. I honestly forget who drafted him, but did I skip over him? I don't know. Whatever. Player stats on the year right now. Jamal Murray, Precious was a monster. Brogdon, Butler, Clark. Again, really comfortable with this team still. I think we're in a really good spot. Rebounds with Achua. Assists was Brogdon at 9 assists. Happy I made that trade. All right, Orlando, Dinwiddie, Thompson, Johnson, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton. Wow. I feel like I always get really matched up like really good 8 seeds here. Like every time in the final year when I'm trying to win a championship. We're playing Bol, who's 7'2", the power forward spot. Okay, they're kind of doing the opposite of me. They're kind of doing the tall ball rebuild, which I definitely will be doing at some point in time in the near future, because I do think it's a challenge. Well, AKA Ben Simmons will be my point guard pretty much. We do go on to sweep them. Moving on to Cleveland here: LaMelo, Paul George, Wiggins, Otto Porter, and Onyeka Okongwu. I honestly think that Milwaukee team was better. We do go on to beat them in 5. Us and the Utah Jazz: Kyrie, Kevin Porter Jr., Harrison Barnes, Scotty Barnes, Xavier Tillman. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They definitely have deep. How are you not starting Jeremy Grant? How are you starting Scotty Barnes over Jeremy Grant? That's the disrespect, man. We do go on to win a 6 in Precious Achua, 26.5 points a game, almost 15 boards, 1 assist, 58% from the field, man. You love to see it. All right, we got a championship here done in the small ball rebuild. Again, I will just go ahead and show you everybody in our starting lineup was 6'8" or under. You obviously love to see it. So, as always, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below. It does help out the video a ton. Helps out the YouTube algorithm, you know, for these videos to be seen by more people. But I actually had a ton of fun doing this one. You know, it wasn't as stressful as I honestly thought it was going to be. But, you know, if you guys have any other fun video ideas, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Again, huge shout out to you, man. I think it's 8 Mamba Forever 24. I hope I got that right. You know, 13 video ideas by, you know, anybody over a multitude of videos is crazy. But never mind leaving me 13 literally on one video. So, that's, again, huge appreciate it, man. You know, it's definitely great to see you guys definitely giving me some great ideas. So, as always, if you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you around here. We know we're looking for a great summer, pretty much daily uploads here. And I really do thank you guys all for, you know, your support and even your constructive criticism. It does help me out a ton, you know, as a YouTuber. So, that about does it for me in this one. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.